let's practice rib feature in SolidWorks. So to do that, let's create a sketch first. So we could anchor the rectangle to the software origin like that, but because we're going to create a rib in the middle of the part, so it will be convenient to keep the origin in the middle. So let's try that. So I'm going to just undo that and then go in rectangle. This time we'll pick the center option and create a rectangle, dimension it. So let's make it 6-inch long and 3-inch wide. Create another rectangle, something like that here, and dimension it from the center or from the middle. Let's make it 1/2 inch. Let's dimension the other side as well, make it 1/2 inch. All right, so that's our basic sketch. So let's go in features and let's extrude. I'm going to include all 3 sections and extrude 1 inch. And then we're going to extrude the middle section only. So we have to say okay first to this. And then remember, we're going to just explore it, click on that sketch, and then I will add another extrude, but this time I'll do only that middle part. Let's do 3 inches. Okay, so that's our basic model. So now let's create a rib in the middle. Change the view not to see the shadow. A couple of things to remember is that the sketch we're going to create for the rib need to be or has to be a new sketch. We cannot be part of the previous sketch. So it will be a new sketch. We would just need a one line to create the rib, basically. So let's start a new sketch, like I said, and then we're going to just create a one line. And this line we're going to create in the front view. So that's why I was saying that we that need to be a new sketch, and it should be in the middle. So because now when I create the line in the front view, it will only create it where the origin was. So we're going to just anchor it to both sides, like the wall and the floor. So that's the other thing with the rib, that this sketch we're creating, it need to be attached to your model. So on both sides, both ends of this rib or the rib line should be attached to the model. If they are not, that's one of the reasons the rib tool might fail. And then we're going to dimension it. So from the top to the start here, 1/4 inch, and I can dimension from this side to here. Let's make it 1.6, and that's good. So now, as you can see, our sketch for the rib is fully defined. So next thing, we will go in the feature, and in feature we have this rib feature. So once you click that, it will pick up that last sketch by default. The only thing now, we have to make sure that that arrow is pointing in the right direction, and that should be towards the model, so downward. We could switch, if let's say if it's pointing the other way, we can flip it from this button here. See, now it goes on towards the top, and now it switches. Okay, and then from here we can control the width of the rib. So let's make it 1/4 inch, and then you just say okay. There we have our rib. So remember, sometimes the rib will fail. The main reasons would be, one, if it's the ends are not attached to the model, to the base model. Secondly, it can fail if the rib sketch what we created, if it's not a separate sketch, it will fail. Another reason sometimes could be if, oh, like we mentioned, if the arrow is pointing in the wrong direction, that would also fail the rib. sometime if your base model has some sort of feature where we are shelling it, or applying any other features, sometimes it might conflict with the rib. It might fail it. So what we need to do is make sure that first you create the rib and then you add other features in it. All right, so let's practice it one more time. So you're going to create another rib on the other side. Now remember, if I'm wanted to create another rib, that rib sketch has to be again a separate sketch. So we cannot even have two rib sketches in the same sketch, right? So now that once that is done, I will start a new sketch again, and then create a line, and I'll select that I wanted to do it in front plane. And once again, we would make sure it's attached to the model. Escape, dimension it. So once again, same dimension we will follow, 1/4 inch from the top, and it was 1.6 from this side. Done. Sketch is fully defined. Going back to feature, rib. See, this time the arrow is pointing towards the top, so I would flip it. Should always be pointing towards the model, and then you say okay. So we have the rib on this other side. Okay, so that's basic feature.